give and they get. Then they run around town beating their chests like they forget. I can forget for now, but I won't never forget. No, love I feel, knowing the universe got my back. Whoa, love I feel, knowing that money gon' come right back.
What's something a past relationship taught you that you wish you learned sooner?
When you first sent me this list and I read it, I didn't even get through the list. I just stopped at this one because it's like something that a past relationship taught me that I wish I knew sooner is that you can't put people on layaway. It's like you could love somebody and somebody could love you, but if you're chasing something else, trying to find yourself, or whether it's a business or like whatever the case may be, you can't just put people on the back burner and expect them to just be there the whole time, you know? And that's exactly what happened to me in my last relationship. I say it all the time, but I bled all over her and I wish that I didn't. But I have no regrets about it because at the time I didn't even know like how to handle whatever I was dealing with anyway. You know what I'm saying? So just bad timing, just maybe right person, wrong time, whatever the case may be. But it really did teach me that if you have somebody good in your life, right? No matter what's going on in your life, whether work is not hitting the way that you want it to, or whatever the war or the struggle is that's going on in your life. If you have someone, a woman, that loves you, that cares about you, that wants to help you, don't push it away because you're trying to figure out your own shit on your own. Like you could do both, you know? Like you have to figure out how to work-life balance in a way. You got work, which I don't even just mean job. I just mean like if you're working on yourself, whatever the case may be, if you're not where you want to be, that's work. And that's also a part of your life, but like your woman, your friends, your family, like that's your life, and you can't put that stuff on the back burner and expect it to still be there when you're ready on your time. And I learned that the hard way. It was like a punch. It wasn't even a slap in the face. It was a punch in the face because the conversation was when she left, I was like, well, for the past 2 months, I've been doing everything that I know I'm supposed to be doing. And she was like, it's too late. My brain couldn't wrap my head around it because in my head, I was like, for 2 years, I didn't do what I was supposed to. Now I'm finally doing it. Everything should be good. And that's not like, that doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that's the hardest lesson I had to learn like in real time from my last relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, something I wish I learned sooner in a past relationship was that most people don't change. And I think those people that are manipulative, narcissistic in your life, they know how to show you what you want to see. They tell you what you want to hear. And just that glimpse of what could be isn't really them. So then you fall for it. Mm-hmm. And me like having a big heart and like seeing the best in people, I'm just like, oh, you were hurt in the past. You were done wrong. This is who you really are. Like you're this like little good person, you know? But the rest of what you do, that's just your past. That's just your trauma that you're dealing with. And like, we can work through that.
Yeah.
But like those people that are broken, that go into relationships and they come into them unhealed, they're not going to change because they're not going to change and heal with you. They're just not. And I always thought that they'd eventually come around, you know? They'd eventually change. They'd eventually open their heart up and they'd be the person that I know that they could be. And that's just me having a big heart and honestly just being stupid and ignorant because how many times are you going to fall for someone and you're falling for what could be instead of what is? And I just wish in the past that I learned that way sooner, that it's like, if someone shows you who they really are, they show their true colors, when shit hits the fan, believe it, because that's who they really are right now. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that they can never change in the future, but they're not going to change while they're with you. And that just, that burned me a lot of time, a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, just seeing the most in people that like didn't even deserve it.
And they didn't even show you any reason to even believe that.
I know.
You know, I've been there. And
I've almost made up things.
Yeah. 100%.
Like I've made up things in my own world to make them better than they actually are.
Yeah, I don't know why we do that, and we also don't listen to the people around us either.
I know.
Because I did that when in my last relationship when we had a very rocky 2 years, and when I left her originally and I went to somebody else, everyone was like, "Yo, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about? This girl is great. they're like, what? That to the point where people would go up to my friends and be like, yo, what is he doing? And they're just like, there's just some things you gotta learn on your own. Yeah. And I guess it depends on like where we're at in our lives and our perspective on that specific situation. We're trying to, it's funny, I was trying to heal from some shit that was self-inflicted and was also trying to heal somebody else. And I was seeing her healed version that didn't exist. I made it up in my mind. I was skipping 6 to 12 months ahead and then putting it on her though, and getting mad at her when she didn't live up to the expectation that I set on her. But
she didn't even know about it.
I set it on her and she didn't even know about it. And she gave me no reason to set that expectation on her. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, bro. I just think, yeah, dude, dating is really weird. And that goes into the next question. Do you think that situationships are the new relationship?
I think situationships have been so broadcasted to like dating culture where it has like, it really has a title now. A situationship should not be a thing. If you want to date someone exclusively, that should be it. If you want to go and explore like Love Island, then that's where situationships create, because now you're pouring into a bunch of different people and someone is going to end up hurt, and you might be that person that ends up hurt, because sometimes you're exploring a lot of other people, you fall for someone, but guess what? They're probably doing the same thing because neither of you have made a commitment towards one another that's saying like, hey, this is exclusive. We're not dating other people. Situationships are so messy, and it's become a norm in dating right now, because I don't think anyone really has the conversation of what are you actually looking for?
Yeah, well, so why are we accepting them is the second part to that question. Why do you think people are so accepting of situationships when it's more evident than not we don't want to be in them, but we accept it because I guess maybe it's I'll take what I could get?
I think it's that so many people are so alone, so they'd rather have somebody by their side than have to sit with their own thoughts, sit with their own emotions and what's going on up here and in their heart. So they'd rather keep somebody close enough, but since they're not where they want to be, I'm afraid to commit.
Yeah.
So we normalize situationships because it's better to have someone there than nobody there, because nobody there gets scary.
Yeah.
And when you keep doing that over and over again, you are so afraid to commit because you're so far removed from being in a committed relationship that situationship is your new love, because you love the idea of something new. You love the idea of, oh, well, I can talk to this person. I can go hang out with this person. I talk to this person on Instagram. And it's like, where is this actually going? And I don't think we understand how detrimental this is to our future, because we are conditioning our brains to believe that we need more than one person.
Yeah.
And when you think that you need more people to date, it's just going to create a lot of chaos in your life.
Yeah, situationships, they remind, it is very elementary to me. It's very high school to me. It reminds me of back in the day when you were a teenager and you were scared to commit, so you had a friends with benefits type of deal going on. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, it was just because we didn't know any better. We didn't even know what love was. We thought we did, but we didn't know what love was. We didn't really know what emotions were yet. We were still learning ourselves. And the opposite sex was also doing the same thing, learning themselves. And it just like, I hate a situationship just because it reminds me of that. It feels like we're taking a step back, right? It feels like we're taking a step back to fucking when we were fucking seniors in high school. And we wanted to have our cake and eat it too. And like, life don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, period, end of discussion. Life don't work like that. And that's exactly what situationships remind me of. And I can only say that because I'm saying it from experience. I've been there more times than I would like to admit, because I guess there's also the other end of the coin where it's like, okay, the second part to that question is, why do we keep accepting situationships instead of relationships? And it's because I guess a lot of us get into a situationship with the hopes that this is going to turn into something. If you water something, you hope that a flower is going to blossom from it. But you also need sunlight. You also need the right conditions. You also need a lot of other things that are maybe outside of your control. and it's not a guarantee. So I don't have the answer as to like what we should do other than just be the best version of ourselves and just hope that like whoever is attracted to that is the right person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's like if you don't go into dating someone with the intention of this being a relationship, well, then you're going into it with the mindset of this is going to be a situationship.
Yeah.
And I think if you don't go into dating someone with intention, it's always going to turn into a situationship, and it's always going to get messy, because I feel like when you truly want to date someone, intentions are set clearly from the jump. And when that conversation isn't had, deep down, you don't feel the need to commit to them because you're like, well, I never said I wanted a relationship.
Yeah.
That's where situationships stem. It's when someone says, well, I told you I didn't want a relationship, but I still want you in my life. And if that person wants to commit and you know they want to commit, you almost say that because you know you're not ready for commitment, but you're not ready to lose them. So I want to keep you here, but I'm not ready to fully commit to you.
I want my cake and I want to eat it too.
And it's never gonna work that way, because it's like if you're not ready to go into something and commit from the jump, I'm not saying be boyfriend and girlfriend on week one of dating,
no.
but say, hey, like, I'm attracted to you.
Yeah.
I love the way you think. I have a great time with you.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in you. I want to see where this goes, and you're the only one I'm talking to. But if you're doing I want to explore and date with 4 other people, well, you're going to be left with a bunch of situationships, and you're going to be left with nothing at the end of the day, because as men, women want commitment. And if you're not ready to commit to a woman, she has every right to leave. She has every right to walk away from you if she wants you in her life. And if you're not ready to commit, we can't fault them for leaving. So it's hard because often the woman will want commitment, and she'll tell you that like, yo, you're all I want. You're not ready for commitment. You tell her, hey, I'm not ready for a relationship right now, but like, I don't want to lose you.
Yeah.
It's like you're telling her to walk away, but you're saying, I still like you.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's just the reality of what it is. Like, I might just not want a relationship right now, but I do enjoy you in my life. But you have to throw the ball back on their side of the court and give them that opportunity. And you can't resent them or fault them for walking away. That is totally up to them. And a lot of times those women do stay because they do think you're going to change. They do think you're going to come around. Some men do, some men don't. But it's hard when a man isn't ready for commitment because he hates being alone and he loves someone by his side, but he doesn't want someone handcuffed to him. And that's where things get messy.
That's where I am, bro. I'm there. I really enjoy my peace right now. I'm so happy being single. I'm not one woman, right, that I'm talking to. Literally not one. It's the first time in fucking 2 years. And I used to be that man where I would have a couple and I would like all of them genuinely. And I maybe in the future, maybe not. But right now, no, definitely not. And really, it's a selfish thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. What's the difference between loving someone and being addicted to them?
Well, being addicted to somebody, we get addicted to traits that are toxic. Yeah. Why? I have no idea. Right? I don't know what the neuroscience is behind that. And I'm sure there is, but I don't know. And you don't love somebody because of those toxic traits. You love somebody because of the good things about them, right? Their morals, how they carry themselves. The toxic traits are like I don't even know what they would be, but it's different and subjective for everybody. But for some reason, we get addicted to that. Like when a woman plays a game, gives you a little bit and then takes it away, and then gives you a little bit and then takes it away. Yo, for some reason, we love that shit because it turns it into this cat and mouse game where we're like, oh, all right, bet I'm going to get you, you know? And sometimes you do, but sometimes you don't. And when you don't, it makes things a lot worse, not only for you, but probably for the next one and the one after that, because you're going to carry that into whatever you're doing. And you carry it into the next thing because you're addicted to it. So, because eventually the toxic shit crashes and burns, and that's it. Now you're trying to get your next fix, and you really need to go through an alone period of being sober from the toxic shit, so that you could clear your mental and clear the slate and realize, yo, what do I want? Because I know it's not toxic shit. Now, also, you don't want, from a human nature standpoint, and again, I'm sure there's neuroscience behind this, but you don't want somebody that's readily accessible to you, right? So there is a fine line there between playing the cat and mouse game with a woman, and then there's a woman who's not accessible at all, or she is accessible but only to you, right? So there's a lot that goes on there, but in a short answer, the difference between loving somebody and being addicted to them is that you love somebody for the good qualities that they have, the good traits that they have, their morals and all that shit, their beliefs and all that. But you get addicted to toxic people because of the toxic shit they do to you. Why? I don't know. I would love to dive deeper into that on another episode, but that's got to be the difference between the two, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, we love the things that aren't good for us.
Like, I don't get it. It's a human nature thing, I guess, but like, why? Where the fuck did that stem from? When Adam fucking bit the apple?
Eve
right?
did.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Eve bit the apple.
Like that story. Like,
yeah, we truly love the things that aren't good for us because we know it's not good, and we know we shouldn't have this in our life, and it's gonna take a lot of work to get it.
Yeah.
So I just want to prove to myself that I can get it. But when love comes easy, we push it away because we're like, this can't be real. So we're addicted to the toxic chaos and the messiness that comes with bad partners, because we want it to work so bad as men, because innately we're fixers. I'll figure this thing out.
Yeah.
But when love comes easy and there's someone that like will just love you for who you are, there's no messiness, it's calm, it's peaceful, we're like, this can't be real. It's because love was messed up for us. Love was messed up for us from a young age. Mm-hmm. We've been with the wrong people, and we have the wrong definition of what love is. Love is peace. Love is presence. Love is calmness. Love is safety. Mm-hmm. But we look at love as like fiery, fireworks, honeymoon phase, mm-hmm. because we think that that's what we really want. That's what our flesh wants. But what like our soul and our heart and our mind like truly wants is just someone that's going to love you for who you are. Mm-hmm. You don't have to perform anymore. And it's so hard because you meet someone, you start over again, and it becomes addicting and chaotic and messy, and then it doesn't work, and you go do that with another person. And then after you do that over and over and over again, someone comes in that actually brings you peace. You're like, I'm not used to this. Yeah. I'd rather be in a familiar hell than an unfamiliar heaven. And because I know how to operate in this mess. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what peaceful love looks like. I know what love looks like when it's up and down and rocky and the waves are crashing and I have no idea what's going on. And then we love each other really hard and then we absolutely hate each other. And I'm like, I want nothing to do with you. We're so addicted to that because it almost keeps us alive because there's so much emotion involved. Yeah. Real love sometimes is a little boring. Mm-hmm. And that's why it becomes a choice. Mm-hmm. That's why it becomes like, yo, I might not be feeling it today, but I'm choosing you. So that's why I'm going to love you. It doesn't matter because I'm picking you as my person. And I think society right now, and we're all victims of it, we are so, that type of love is so foreign to us. We'd rather stay in that familiar hell of just, you know what? I know this isn't good for me, but I'll figure it out.
Bro, you know what? I was just sitting here thinking, and what I'm correlating is that, you know, one of the things that my father used to tell me growing up, no matter what I was doing in life, was if it was easy, everybody would do it, right? So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, maybe one of the reasons why we love toxic shit is because it's hard. And we look at hard situations like, okay, there's something worth it here. Right? Because anything that you want in this life, for the most part, is going to be difficult to obtain. So the moment that you find a woman that's open and transparent and not playing the cat and mouse game, and she's readily available to you, and it's easy in a way, right? Not easy in the sexual way, easy in the emotional way. I think innately we think, well, this can't be worth anything. It was too easy.
No.
And that's not the fucking case.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Love shouldn't feel like a handout.
Because love is hard too. Like, don't get it twisted. You meet a girl that's open and honest and she's ready. Okay, step one complete. But you got a long way to go, my man. And if you guys get to the fucking point where you guys are saying, like, I love you and you love each other in your relationships and shit, oh, well, shit is about to get hard, bro. So you know what I'm saying? And that's when it's worth it. And that's when what I just said before makes sense. The hard things in life have something that's worth it at the end of it. So I think we get that misconstrued where it's like, oh no, if she's easy and I could date her tomorrow if I want, well then that can't be worth it. Yeah. Like it's too good to be true.
Well, I think it's so hard for a man to accept love sometimes is because he's never truly like loved who he is. And maybe people have never given him the love that like he's like really yearned for. So when someone loves him truly for him, he doesn't feel worth it.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel worth the love that he's getting right now. So he believes that it's fake because maybe there was someone in his past that said that they really loved him and they didn't. And then they hurt him. So then when you feel that feeling of pain and heartbreak and someone new comes in and gives you that love that might be real, you were told this in the past and it wasn't real. So now you stay away from it and you attract the toxic, addictive, chaotic type of love because you know if it doesn't work out, you have a cop-out. You have an excuse to be like, yeah, this was fiery, this was fun, but it was messy. She wasn't for me anyway. So you have this, balance of chaotic love and peaceful love, but I'm not willing to accept the peaceful love because I don't feel worthy of it. Yeah. And there's no way she actually loves me for me because the last girl that said that didn't happen. Yeah. So I'd rather just stay in this place of this makes me feel something, but I know it's not going to go anywhere. So I'll always have an excuse to say why it didn't work out.
I'm content here. I like it here.
I think that's what it really is. It's like that unworthiness of love that most men don't truly, that most men feel.
Yeah, well, I think that's, again, in real time, and this is why I love doing this shit so much, because this is a real-time thought. I think that's exactly what happened to me, because in that first relationship that I was in when she left after, we were fucking thinking about moving to California a month before she broke up with me, and why she broke up with me because of the career path I chose and yada, yada, yada. And I felt abandoned. And then when I got into my next relationship and my business wasn't doing that well, but she loved me, but my business wasn't doing that well, I felt like I wasn't worthy of love because the one before that left me because of the career path I chose. So now I'm in this up and down career where I don't feel like I'm worthy of anything, but this girl is saying that she loves me and I don't know how to accept it because I don't feel worthy of love and I don't love myself.
Yeah, it's like, what do you mean you love me?
You love me? I'm failing right now. And you love me? The last time I failed, she left. So I don't believe you, And she would also there was also little things that she didn't like. She didn't like tattoos in general. She didn't like smoking, to the point where I would say to her, what do you like about me?
Yeah, why are you here?
Why are you here? Not that those two things are nowhere near who I am. They're a part of me, but they're not who I am. But I say all to say that I was so foggy in where I was. I was like, what are you talking about? So I self-sabotaged it eventually over 2 years. Yeah. I didn't have the balls to leave. I made her leave.
Yeah. Yeah, I said that once to a girl. I was like, do you like me for me, or do you like the idea of me? Like, I think on paper, I check a lot of boxes for you, but our in-person interaction, it doesn't work, but you're still here. I don't understand why. I know I haven't given you a reason to leave. Like, I like you for you, but you clearly do not want to be here for who I truly am. But you have a problem with everything I do, every little thing I do. Like, that's a pet peeve of mine. Yo, if you're gonna nitpick every single thing I do, the way I dress, the way I talk, the way I interact with people, what I like, what I don't like, you don't like me. Why are you still here? Are you that afraid to be alone that you need to use me as a companionship because you know I'm a good person? You know I probably don't have the balls to push you away because I see more in you than you see in yourself, but we're obviously not compatible. What are you still doing here?
That's crazy, bro.
And when I asked that question, absolutely mute. Had nothing to say. And we never spoke again after that because I was just like, I want people around me that just like me for me. I'm not saying we got to get married, but you got to like a little bit about me. I felt so performative because every single thing I did, I got like ridiculed and criticized for. And I was just like, dude, I don't want this. We're just like, I'm not saying what I do is right or wrong or somewhere in the middle.
But it's me.
But this is me. And if you don't like it, well, you got to go.
What the fuck are you doing here? So saying all that and being two guys who have been through a lot of relationships, do you think that you could be too independent in a relationship? Like, is there for guys and girls, do you think that there is too much independence going on? Or do you think that like we need a strong balance of leaning on each other? You know, because having gone through all this shit, I don't want to have to depend on a woman for a lot, honestly. But I do want to get in a relationship. But like, and eventually if you want to be in a relationship, well, you need to depend on the other person emotionally, at least. I'm not saying I need to depend on her. I'm saying emotionally, I want to be able to depend on her. But I feel like I'm in such an independent stage of my life where I'm like, no, I'm good with me, that I might never, ever let those walls down again to let a woman be like that shoulder to cry on, quote unquote. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't think it's hard. Like, I think men depend on women emotionally. I think women depend on men for providing protection, financial stability, right? So I think the dependence is a little bit different for both.
100%.
I think I sometimes over depend on a woman emotionally because I didn't have that womanly love as a kid because I lost my mom at such a young age. And as I get older, I think I crave that just connection with a woman, that level of love. Obviously, they're two different loves, but I think the level of love is the same. My thing is, I believe when women don't have a significant father figure in their life, or they've been absolutely done wrong by men that they really, truly loved, they have an independence issue that I don't need men for shit. Every man in my life that should be here left me with nothing.
Which I get.
And I'm not going to let you have that authority above me like I need you. And sometimes in relationships, that's hard because men want to be the provider. Men want to make you feel safe. I want to let you know that like, yo, you're good. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. But when a woman has been so hurt in the past or her father wasn't there in her life, to see what that masculine presence can do for a woman, she doesn't know how to accept it. So she pushes it away and says, I'll do it. I can do it on my own. I'm talking to the littlest things of bringing the suitcase down the stairs. I'm talking about, putting a picture up on the wall. I'm talking about
little shit.
Cleaning the backyard, right? It's like, I can do it. I don't need your, it's like, yo, just relax. That independence pushes men away Because when you do that to a man, it makes them feel unworthy. It makes them feel unloved, because this is the way that men show love. This is the way that a man is going to tell you, like, yo, I love you. I'm going to show you. I need you for emotional support. Like, I need you to be that shoulder I can cry on. I need that space to talk to you about anything and everything. But let me do the hard physical labor shit. Let me do the shit that you shouldn't do as a woman. Yeah. I know the other men in your life weren't around for you. I know there were men that said that they would and they didn't. But I'm not that guy. Yeah. So don't be so independent, strong woman. You don't need to be that for me. Yeah. You can be the feminine, like, nice girl. Yeah. You could be that, like, you can be that person with me. But when those women have gone through those things, it's very hard for them to let a man do things for them, because they're like, I don't want to ask for help.
It works, I guess, both ways too. Again, like, and circle back to what you said before, is that the opposite sex depend on each other for different things. So when it comes to a woman, and like you said, she didn't have a father in her life, or he didn't do the right thing, or she's been really heartbroken by a man, she doesn't let him in on the ways that women need, to depend on men. They're just like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it on my own. But on the flip side with men, if that's happened where he's had a woman that's really, really broke him and broke his heart and hurt him, it becomes the situation where it's like, and this could maybe be a good thing in a way where, you know what, I don't need the love of a woman. I'm just going to figure out how to love myself, and that could get toxic in a way where it's like you start to push away good people. But I guess in the beginning of being, getting heartbroken, you're like, I'm done with emotions for now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm out of here for now. I don't want to depend on a woman for that. I'm going to find it within or in other areas like community and family and friends and shit. But eventually, we both need to depend on each other. And I guess getting to that point where the man and the woman are so comfortable with each other and their guards are so down that they start to, in a healthy way, depend on each other, that's when the relationship blossoms and flourishes.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get there and circle all the way back. Hard things have things that are worth it at the end of them. So it's very hard to get to that point. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs, a lot of tumultuous times. But if she's the one or if he's the one, you guys are going to get through it and you're going to be like, holy shit, I've never experienced this before in like a positive way. It's tough, bro.
Yeah, it is tough. Yeah, it's hard, bro. Yeah. I think men and women need each other, but we're so prideful to say that we don't. Yeah. Because men have been so hurt by women and you opened up to the wrong woman and she threw it back in your face. Yep. And as women, men promised you the world and they never gave it to you. And you just are like, screw it.
Fuck men.
All I need is me. Yep. And it's okay to need someone. Like it's genuinely okay to ask for help. Yep. It's genuinely okay to lean on someone. Mm-hmm. And I think our past and our trauma and our hurt, we carry that with us. And until you actually let that shit go, you're never going to fully be open to that next person because you're carrying baggage that should have been left at the airport.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
That's true.
Next one, I'm gonna skip it. We've kind of like covered a few of these already. Yeah. Why do you think you keep attracting the same person in a different body?
Well, that goes back to the addiction part to toxic relationships. Looking at the glass half empty, if you're attracting the wrong people and you keep on getting the same type of person in a different body, it's because you're attracted to toxicity. Yeah. So that just means that you're just toxic traits are what you're looking for in a woman. And you could find that all over the place, just in all different shapes and sizes, And the moment that you come to the realization when you're like, all right, the last fucking 4 girls I dated, I have the same complaint about all of them. At some point, it's not about them anymore. It's about me and my decision-making skills here. You know what I'm saying? And, well, there's been so many times over the past, like, year and a half where I would tell my friends that I'm talking to somebody, and I'd also, you know, put like the little caveat there and say, well, you know, my judgment has been a little off lately, so you know, I don't know where this is gonna go. I like her and I think she's cool, but maybe the things that I like are not the things that I'm supposed to like. You know, so that's looking at the glass half empty. If you want to look at the glass half full and you're like, why do you keep on attracting women with the same attributes but in a different body? You know, you could attract good people too. That's the other thing. Like, you don't only, you know, it really depends on you and your intentions. Right. You know, I've seen fucking people get married fucking right away. And then I've seen people get married maybe 3, 4, 5 years later to somebody else, but they were like, I'll look at it from a bird's eye view and be like, oh, she found another, you know? And it's just like, you could also attract good people. Now, if you don't know what to do with good people, you're going to fumble them. And if you keep on attracting good people after that, well, God bless, but that's not usually what happens. But usually what happens is you get addicted to the wrong shit, and that's what you keep on getting because that shit is easier, right? So for the most part, the succession is not going to be good person, good person, good person, good person, because that would mean you're the fucking bad person. If you keep on fucking with good people and it's not working. Right. On the other end, it's usually if you're a good person, you keep on fucking with the wrong person, you got to realize that, you know, something's got to give here. So I guess it depends, but it really depends on the intentions, bro, and where you're at in your life. 3 years ago, I attracted the wrong person. Now I know that when the time does come and I'm ready to kind of like let that guard down, I will hopefully be attracting positivity in the right person. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we attract the people that we believe we're worthy of. And I think when you don't truly feel that love about yourself, you're going to attract that level of person. And until you fully heal, until you fully accept who you are as a person, you're going to accept the people that aren't going to love you the way that you need to be loved, but the way that you feel like you deserve to be loved, because the way that you deserve to be loved is how you actually look at yourself. Mm-hmm. You don't feel deserving of the love that your soul desires. You feel the deserving of love to the level that you feel about yourself. Mm-hmm. And that comes down to your actions, your habits, the way you treat people, the way that you do things when no one's around. That's how you truly feel about yourself. So you're not going to attract the person that your soul truly desires until you are fully okay with who you are when no one else is around. And we constantly question why we keep attracting this type of person, or you're like she's good, but she's not what I really want. Yeah. It's like, yeah, you're good, but are you who you really want to be? Mm-hmm. Well, you're not going to attract the person that you truly desire until you become the person that you're so proud of that you don't need anyone around to make you feel okay. You'll be so good by yourself until that perfect person comes. And perfect doesn't mean that they have no flaws or imperfection. Perfect means perfect for you. Yeah. And until you reach that level in yourself, you're going to keep attracting the wrong people. And that doesn't mean that they're bad people either. Yeah. They're just not the right person for you.
100%. And trying to decipher between the two. That's one of the things that I had to realize in the last like little situationship that I was in, because I really tried to make it work, and she's a really good person, but she just was wrong for me, you know? But yo, there's a question here. I think it's phenomenal. It's towards the end. Why do we romanticize the people who hurt us the most?
I think we have been so deceived of what love really means that we think it's like the movies. We think that it's like the Notebook, you know?
Yeah, I was going the other way, but I want to hear, this is great.
We think that it's like the people that have hurt us, the people that have done us so wrong, that we're going to have this fairy tale ending. And if movies ended the way that they should, they would never reach the box office, because nobody would show up to see the reality of what a toxic relationship looks like, what it looks like when you cheat on someone, what it looks like when you leave someone that you love and you told them I would never leave. Those movies need to end with a fairy tale ending of love. So we romanticize all the bullshit in between, which is the plot in the movie.
Yeah, the meat of the whole movie.
But we never get to the ending because that's not reality.
Yeah.
We think it's like Shrek and Fiona. We think it's like all this bullshit that we've been fed as a kid. That's not love. So we romanticize everything in between, but what we really want is the fairy tale ending. But you don't get to the fairy tale ending with all the nonsense that it took to get there, like they show you in the movies and the TV shows. So we've just been confused on what love actually looks like. Love does not have to be toxic and messy and up and down. It should not be like that. Love genuinely should bring you peace. It should make you feel calm. Yeah. Is there going to be hard times? Is there going to be tough conversations? Absolutely. But a lot of times those things are like boring and they wouldn't make it to the script writing. It's boring.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that shit.
You got to cheat on someone and then find them 5 years later. You got to go enlist in the military and almost die, and she has to get remarried, and then we somehow meet at a coffee shop. Brother, that's not love.
Yeah, it's not happening either.
It's not real. It's not real. So we romanticize this cinema aspect of love, and then when real love comes knocking on our door, we don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, that's a fucking great perspective, and a real one. Where I was thinking of was that I've romanticized the people that have hurt me the most because of the inspiration that it's given me eventually.
That's good too.
You know, like for some reason this could be toxic, and this could be the reason why a lot of the things that I get involved with crash and burn. But the pain that I've felt from being heartbroken, done dirty, done wrong, I've almost turned it into a muse in a way where it's like it inspires me for some reason. Bro, like dude, I feel so alive when I'm driving and a song comes on that makes me feel a certain type of way. Like yesterday when I sent you that
Cold
song
Dark Place
by Sam Barber, bro.
Yeah.
And bro, I hadn't heard it in a very long time because I try not to listen to shit like that anymore. And it came on, and I sang it at the top of my lungs, and like I didn't cry. It made me feel a type of way, but like I didn't cry, but I did feel something. And part of what I felt was inspired. I felt motivated. And that might be a little toxic, but I for some reason, the pain that I've gotten from life in general, I use it as a muse. And I think that in real time, again, thinking of this, that's where I get a lot of my creativity from. You know, my clothing brand is based off we're all at war with something. And that's real shit. Again, I say it all the time. It's like it's not like this bullshit mantra that I just thought was cool. And I was like, I think this is dope. Like, no, that's some shit that I truly believe. And I discovered that through experience. But with all of that, the bitter part to that is that I get a lot of inspiration from the war. So maybe I'm always searching for fucking wars. Because not during the war am I inspired, but the residue of it and how it makes me feel after when I'm like somewhat healed from it, looking back on it in hindsight and having a different perspective on the situation helps me create whatever I'm creating in that moment. But for the most part, it's been like campaign or clothes, or now it's pod. And I take all that pain and it's like my muse. And I think sometimes I chase that pain for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's a bittersweet thing, right? Because I'm not chasing the actual pain. I'm chasing the residue, what happens after it. And they always say, like, and I'm going to butcher it, and I don't know who said it, but I've heard it all the time, is that in order to make art, bro, a lot of the time, really, really good art, whether it's music, whether it's clothing, whether it's TV, cinema, whatever the case may be, it comes from a very dark place inside of whoever's creating it. And that's like very bittersweet, because that's how we want to put like our light out there into the world, but it's coming from a very dark place.
Comedy.
Bro, comedy? Bro, dude, did you watch the fucking roast? What was the last roast? Who did
Kevin
they
Hart.
roast? They roasted Kevin Hart. Bro, that was some of the darkest comedy I've ever heard in my life. Was I sitting there laughing, going, I was pissing myself. But it really made me sit there and think like, holy shit, nothing is off the table in comedy. Like, no, nothing. Yeah. If you think it's off the table, it's not.
Yeah. These laughs came from a lot of dark times.
A lot, bro. You know, so it's very bittersweet. And I say all that to say, to close out, is that I think that that's why me specifically romanticize the people that have hurt me. I still talk about my first ex to this day. It was 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. And part of me, I hate that I do, but the other part of it is like, no, a lot of positivity came out of that. Okay. I wouldn't be sitting here right now if it wasn't for that heartbreak, right? And I'm sure 5, 6, 7 years from now, when I'm turning 40, I'm going to talk about the heartbreak from when I was 30 and say the same thing, hopefully on a whole nother spectrum. Because I doubled up on it, hopefully. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I see. So maybe that's why I romanticize, and I'll close it there. That's probably why I romanticize pain and hurt.
Yeah. You know? I think the rawest emotion you can feel as a human is pain.
Yeah.
Because you learn so much about who you are, what you're about, and what you want to be during that time. Because there's so many times in our life where we just feel numb. We feel like we're going through the motions, and we never take a moment to sit back and reflect on what's actually going on. How do I actually feel right now? Mm-hmm. So when you go through that heartbreak, you go from losing that job, or a best friend does you wrong. Like, these things in your life happen, and you hit the valley, but you know that you can't go lower than that.
Yeah.
So much inspiration comes from that. Mm-hmm. Some people do get stuck there, which is a sad story. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people do make it out. Mm-hmm. And that's why we're so drawn to that, because we know what comes from it. Yeah. And I just think it's just the rawest emotion we can feel sometimes. And that's why sometimes we attract it, because it's like, I have nothing like really... Like, I'm kind of flatlining in life. I'm a little bit up and down. It's like I almost need to go all the way down to shoot back up. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So sometimes it's like we crave something going really wrong in our life after we've been there before, because we knew how low we got and then how high that we went. Yeah. And we don't want to stay in the middle. I love the ups and downs of life. Yeah. I have it tattooed on me. Yeah. The highs, the lows, and the in-betweens. Keep going. Shout out to Mike. That's it. Yeah. Like, and it's like, embrace all of it. When you're at the top, love that shit. When you're all the way in the depths of the bottom, embrace that shit. I think we all, as humanity, need to do a better job of embracing that middle. They need to embrace that in between, because the in between is where you can lose. The in between is where you can lose yourself.
Oh yeah, bro.
And it's tough. Last question I have for this episode. Mm-hmm. This one is really good. Why does the end of a relationship sometimes feel like you're losing a part of yourself?
Because you are. If you can only speak from a long-term relationship standpoint, but at some point, I don't want to say that your partner becomes a part of you, but they do in a way. The movies that you guys discovered together, and the restaurants that you guys discovered together, and the music that you guys discovered together, and life that you guys discovered together. When you guys break up, and again, you only get all that through experience, so this is long term. But if you spend 5, 6 years with somebody, bro, spending the majority of the week with them probably, and eventually maybe even like living together and spending your whole fucking lives together, when you guys break up, it is like losing a part of yourself, because now whenever that music comes on, now whenever you see a certain color, now whenever you even drive by the restaurant, if you even have the heart to go into the restaurant, and these are things that maybe you don't even have control over, because you could be driving, the song could come on the radio, you could be driving and you could see a flower in the color that reminds you of her, or you could be driving and not realize you're about to pass the restaurant, whatever the case may be. It's going to make you feel something. It's going to make you feel something because those places are a part of you, and those places are a part of you because you shared it with a significant other. So you are metaphorically losing a part of you when you in a long-term relationship break up. But you could also be losing a part of you that was meant to be lost. You could also be losing a part of you that drew out the toxic in you. You know, that maybe this relationship just really, really brung out the worst in you. I've had those too, you know? And it was, in hindsight, losing them, it was great because I finally was able to kill whatever that was inside of me, bro. There was one situationship where she literally just brought out the fucking worst in me, bro. I was a fucking psychomaniac when it came to her for some reason. And I couldn't let it go. And finally, when she cut it off and was like, yo, this shit is clipped, I looked back on it like, thank fucking God, because I was able to kill that part to me. So there's two sides to that coin, but the answer to that is that we feel like that because we are losing a part of ourselves in a breakup.
Yeah. Yeah, I think sometimes when you don't have an identity in yourself, you find identity in your partner. And when you lose them, you feel like you're losing who you are. And that just means that you never knew who you truly were, because you only knew yourself for who you had to be for them. And I think that means that you were with the wrong person. I think if you have to find yourself in someone else, that means that that person isn't meant to be in your life. They're not meant for you. So that's why it's so hard when you're with someone for so long that when they walk away, you feel like you lost a piece of you.
Yeah.
It's because, yeah, you guys have so many shared experiences and that's normal, but you shouldn't feel like you're losing yourself. And then when you get into the next relationship, since you don't know who you truly are, you put on a different mask and you play a different character. And then when they walk away, you feel like you lost different parts of you that you didn't even know existed. How many times are you going to do that to realize that you're not even being yourself? You're just playing the role that they needed you to play so that you could stay in their life. Why do we do that? It's because we don't truly feel that way about ourselves. We don't feel the way about ourselves that we need to.
Yeah.
We put on a performance just to keep people around.
Very insecure.
So when you lose that person, you shouldn't lose pieces of you. You'll always have the memories that will always be a part of you. But if someone doesn't want to be there anymore, you can't lose yourself, because that means if that person was never there, who are you?
Yeah.
Because you were somebody before they came in. We forget that. We forget that we had our own life before that person walked in the door. Go find that person. Go find that little kid that was happy playing in the playground, that was playing sports, that was laughing and playing video games with his friends. Go find that kid, because that's who you are.
Yeah.
You aren't the person that made this person like you.
Yeah.
Because if that person only liked you for the mask that you were wearing, well, of course they were going to leave, because it was never truly you.
Yeah. It's a good point.
Yeah. Yo, this was good. Good one. Glad we got back.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the Patreon. Check us out on YouTube members if you want to watch it on your TV. Can't watch Patreon on the TV. If you want more of this is what goes on that. So
yeah, go on YouTube members. I know you guys like to watch it on your TV. Go on YouTube members. Patreon is dope, obviously. And if you're already there, we love you and you can stay there. But if you're not already there, okay, and you're here on our YouTube, go to the YouTube members. It's great. And you're going to get more episodes like this, which in my opinion are our best ones. So
yeah. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys always. And see you on the next episode.
Big up.